Is this thing going? Welcome to All Things Money. You got me, Shayla, a.k.a. One Take Shay.
You got me, Dash Wavy, a.k.a. Diamond Boy. And we have a very, very special guest today.
Very special guest.
Joy.
Hi, everyone.
Let's take a shot
Oh, my stomach already.
to this episode.
Yes.
First guest of season 3.
First guest season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Everybody in the room, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, I'm going to stomach this.
It's a big
Okay.
shot.
It's not a simple shot.
I'm not taking the whole thing because
Exactly.
I've been drinking, so.
I took the whole thing. Why
Yeah, but you didn't drink nothing all day, so this is second
lying
shot.
on my name. Why you
This
lying?
is second shot.
It's third.
But yeah, we're happy to have Joy on. We first met Joy late May.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend. We did a podcast episode live. So we had to run it back. This is actually the first guest that we had on 2 times. Like, we doubled back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just true.
That means I'm a good person. That means
You are.
like it's a worthy podcast.
And before we even start, I want to give you your flowers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me.
Because I like the ethic, the work ethic. I like,
Thank you.
You know, you're one of the people that I was telling the guys, like, oh, Joy, followed up, like, yo, we need to lock on a date. We need to find a date. What works best for you? These are my dates. And you kept following up. I'm like, wow. Like, and there's some people that we already had an arrangement with, and they kind of like fell through, and they didn't even care to hit us back up, or But you could tell who's serious about their craft, about their business. So we want to give you your flowers.
Yeah, we were signing NDAs. It was all like,
Nah, you're
it was
official.
legit,
Yeah, we like it.
It was legit, yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna take another one.
Well, I finished my shot.
All right, do the other one. Oh boy, this is to you.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
I would say I think when it comes to my work ethic, it's more so making an impact and also building those really strong relationships because I think we should work together as a community to build up one another.
Yeah.
It's not about like just my business. It's about how can I impact you and how can I impact your audience and how can I impact the world. So more or less, that's why I think it's important to, build those relationships and show up for one another. So when you ask me to be on your podcast, of course I'm going to say yes. Because, at the end of the day, it's just me extending the olive branch to you guys. So thank you for having me on. I'm super excited for today's convo.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So what y'all got for me? Oh, wait, I thought you wanted to do your intro. I need to hear this intro. I'm so
that was the intro.
Oh, that was the intro? That was it? I thought there was more to this.
So when you say it like that, you mean like it was so good that
you didn't recognize?
You didn't notice it?
Like that was it?
Nah,
when we did my intro at my podcast, I feel like I was like more enthusiastic. Like I was more like there was something to like. It was a show.
You know.
So like you gotta give me more than that.
The thing with this guy, he loves the suspense factor. He loves suspense. Yo, hold on. I got an intro. No. Don't say it. I got it. I don't know.
So my enthusiasm, that's just need to be increased.
I feel like if you want to have a bomb intro, like you gotta sell it to the people. Like when I start my podcast, it's like, welcome back, glowers and growers. My name is Joy, the growth coach. And today here, like I give you some characteristics that's different from me. I even change up a little bit of my voice. I talk with my hands. It's different. So like, I expected more. Like I was like, okay, like that's
Is this
like that's it? Like that's it?
Nah, so before we started like recording and the cameras came on, they was doubting me the whole time. They was downplaying my intro. So yeah.
No, I didn't even know what the intro was.
So I did come off small. But you know what though? Next time, all right. Episode 3, we up.
And if I watch episode 3, I promise you, and it didn't change, I'm gonna have to give you a call and be like, I'm still disappointed. I'm gonna be severely disappointed.
When we do episode 3, you know, wow. I can see the progression.
Like I need something that sticks out and it feels like all things money. Like I need something that feels like just
it's coming.
Shay. Like that's what I need. Like for me, I feel like I have an intro that like it just matches me. Nobody else can do it like how I do it. But it's okay. You can get there yet. I feel like you got it next episode. But if I see you next episode and it's not like that, we're going to have a conversation.
No, it's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be.
I hear you. I need to see the vision.
You know what?
Maybe we need to practice off camera.
You know what? I'm going to tag you.
Okay.
I'm going to tag you.
I promise you, I'm here for it. But like, if you need you need a coach, I'm here for that. Cause like, I do this coaching thing for real. So like we can build this.
You know what? Pride aside. Pride aside, I'll reach out.
Okay.
I have no shame.
I hear you.
I have no shame. If I gotta work on something,
it's okay.
I work on it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take you up on your offer.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out, and we're gonna work on it.
And I do this pro bono. I got you.
I appreciate that.
I got you.
I appreciate that.
I got you.
You know the funny thing is, if I were to say all this to him,
nah, his delivery is terrible. His delivery is terrible. You see how like you was like, oh, I could teach you, I could show you how to do it. He like, yo, it's trash. Don't do that again, yo. Just let it go. And I don't think I let it go, but like, I don't know. He don't offer no constructive criticism. It's just criticism. That's the difference. So that's why I don't really. But
he don't give you no direction like what you need to.
Yeah, like he don't show
change.
how to improve. He's not solution based. Just state the issues and all that. So
he like, it's your fault. Now fix it.
Now fix it. And don't offer nothing.
See, how you gonna be a good teammate and you can't tell him how to fix his strategy? Like that don't make no sense.
Exactly.
Hold on. If you believe anything this guy says, I told you today he's been like off.
He's off.
He's been off. This guy's been off all day. I don't know if it's the shots. I don't know. It's hot outside.
But didn't you say he didn't drink enough though?
Catch him.
So wait, I'm confused.
He's rambling.
I'm confused. Now I'm lost.
He's rambling.
You said he only had one shot though.
No, yeah, just two.
He's rambling.
So now that one shot got him off that quick?
That's all it takes.
But you were saying even
One
before.
take.
Come on. This is the third season. Come on. You know how I get down. Come on.
I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong.
Stop
I'm just here as a guest. As y'all can see, I'm just the guest
Stop
here.
playing with my body.
So I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all.
body.
I'm just, you know what? What's next topic? Let's go.
My body. They playing with my body. They know what I do.
I'm just lost.
I drink most of it. They playing with my body. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
Joy, how's your mental health? You're very big on the mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
How's your mental health?
I would say for this summer has been definitely different than I typically would have. I started a new job back in April.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And this is my ending off my first year in grad school. So when I started this year, it was I was in a dark spot because I didn't have a job. I was in grad school. I was just trying to figure out a lot of things. And I was like, I had all these goals and these ambitions. And I was just like, I don't know if it's going to happen. And it's not like I'm not putting in the work, but it's like when you like trying to strive towards something, you don't see something happening. And then slowly but surely, like things start working itself out in its favor. That's where it got to. And so even like just during the summer, I think I just hit an epiphany where like I like what I do, like within my job. It's cool, but it doesn't fulfill me fully. So like I realized like long term, I'm really an entrepreneur. I realized that I really like helping individuals, but like how I want to help individuals is through my business. And I had this epiphany with a friend of mine, which now he's my co-host, also a consultant within my business. It's like, I really want to take my business to like the next scale. And it was more so, I was watching this podcast called Shits and Gigs. They're all the way in UK. And like they just hit 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
And they were like telling their story. And when I'm watching it, I literally came to tears. I'm literally sitting in my office at my job and I'm just like, I'm not working hard enough. Because it's like, I started my business almost 4 years ago. And like, I should be a lot more further along. And I can blame it on not having the right team at the time. I can blame it on not having the financials. I can blame it on everything else. But it really has to come down to like sometimes my work ethic or like also believing in myself. And I had to like have a conversation recently with the team I have now. I'm like, I need to get shit together because obviously, also, can I curse on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, cool. So like I need really to get my shit together because I need to scale up. because I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm tired of being at like the same spot. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of opportunities have come through. Shout out to Monita. He gave me like my first opportunity this year to have like a sponsored 3 podcast episodes. I've also got to work with, sororities that gave me an opportunity to, do workshops, but to actually like zone in and be like, make this a revenue type of income where like I can like go into schools, I can go and actually have a product to give somebody to build up my like consultations with life coaching. I haven't been doing that. And I think that's because of me being scared. So realizing that during this summer and realizing where I need to go, I think that has been a really big eye opener. And then also like, developing a new, relationship with a significant other and trying to navigate that. That's been also a whirlwind of a change, especially when you both are two busy people. So that's kind of where my mental health has been this entire summer, just trying to navigate all of that and make sure like I also make space to grow and evolve within myself as well.
How did you overcome that like scaredness?
I'm still like not fully overcame it. I think it's just like a day by day conversation, not only that I have to have with myself, have with my significant other, have with my team. That's the only way that I can really get over it. And I'm not saying that I can't lean on friends, because obviously your friends are there for you, but those are the people that are clearly walking this path with you. Like my team is the one that's gonna be like, sometimes I want to push things off to them. Like literally, we just had a team meeting the other day, and I was just like, "So, like, who wants to do the social media?" And they're like looking at me like, "It has to be you, because it has to be your story. It has to be your journey." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I hate posting. Like, I really just rather get a social media manager." They're like, "Until you can afford one, it has to be you. It's only gonna come right coming from your voice." So, me understanding that, it's like, all right, like sometimes I'm gonna have to post things. I'm not afraid of like the optics of like it not getting enough views or whatever, but it's more like just trying to find the right words to say at the moment and understand like social media's algorithm is a whole different animal. Even like navigating things with a partner as well. Like sometimes we've had to have like uncomfortable conversations, and like whether that works for him or works for me, like sometimes in order for us to grow on the same path together, it has to be present. And even just like sometimes I've even had to have my own uncomfortable conversations, like whether I'm laying in bed like late at night or like as I'm driving to work. Like if I really want myself to grow and not be stagnant, I need to have that, whether that leaves me in tears or whether that leaves me to be like, okay, clearly you're not done doing the work within yourself, or even like during therapy sessions. If like I know that there's a problem, I need to be able to have that solution to fix it. So that's kind of where like I guess I am currently. Like I don't have fully all the solutions, but I know that I can create the habits, I can create the, I guess, mantra to like get those problems, I guess, fixed and continuously keep fixing them as they keep coming along.
All right, cool. You mentioned 2 things that kind of stuck to me.
Go ahead.
You mentioned you watched the podcast. I think you was at work,
yeah,
and giggles, and you started crying because you feel like you can, do more. I wouldn't necessarily judge your success based off of, another podcast. Even though I understand what you mean, because it could be like a benchmark, like, you can kind of gauge, how you should be doing based on somebody else. But at the same time, it's not good to like compare, because who knows, like they, shout out to them, but they could like fall off next year and you may be 10 years deep, you know what I'm saying? And then second thing, you mentioned, you're looking for like sponsors or make it like a revenue-based podcast. You should look up, I don't know if you know about it, it's called Podcorn.
I haven't heard about that.
CORN.
You're going to tell me that after.
Yeah. Basically what they did is a website. You have to like validate your podcast. And basically there's a lot of companies or businesses that are willing to sponsor your episode or pay you if you just talk about their product, give a review, just have a topical discussion based on whatever they're selling or their brand is. So you should check it out. But we'll talk offline about that.
Oh, of course. Sure. I don't think that, like, the first thing I'm going to say, I don't think I'm trying to compare myself to any podcast that's already out there, like, because everybody's work ethic is different. But I would say that I look back at my work ethic over the last 4 years, and there were times that I was afraid. There were times I made mistakes and things like that, or like just trying to find the right team to help me get to the next level. I think I could have done better with that. Or just like the time that I took off to just like even just focus on myself, or like I think I made myself like not available to take certain leaps. And so when I look at that, it's more like I could have worked harder, but I chose not to. Or I could have done things differently, but like I didn't want to put in the work. It's not about like the comparison aspect. I think it's more about like, what could you have done differently, or what could you be doing differently, and it's right in your face and you have the opportunity and you're not taking advantage of the opportunity. That's what I think I'm significantly looking at now, because I have a wider range of an audience. I have a platform, you know, at a Black Monday where I can have a podcast there. I have, you know, a producer now that helps me bring in opportunities left and right, where like, he's like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, like bringing in grant opportunities, and I'm not fully taking advantage of them. That's not on anybody else but me. So me understanding those avenues is like, I'm getting in my own way. If I continuously keep getting in my own way, obviously I'm not going to be able to get to the success that I want to. I'm not even worried about the 1 million subscribers, but I'm like, I could be a full entrepreneur living out the life that I desire, but I keep stepping on my own toes. It's not anybody else. So that's what I'm looking at. And the second thing, definitely, I did not know about that, and definitely we'll be talking offline about that, because, you know, mama needs to make money at this point. So mama can be, you know, working for herself.
Right. That's the goal.
Of course.
That's the goal. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, you know, like you said you wasn't working for a while. So like being an entrepreneur, you know, you have a lot, you basically risk a lot on the line.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
sleep, tears, bloodshed,
everything. So like
relationships.
A lot. You sacrifice a lot.
Pretty
much.
Know?
So, you know, and all that contributes to your mental health. You know what I mean? So what advice would you give those who are entrepreneurs, but they're still trying to, you know, be right in their mind, but they still, you know, face the difficulties being an entrepreneur?
Okay. So the first thing I would say, because I think I learned this even to this day, and I'm praying this person does not look at me when I say this. You are not right all the time. You're not right. Every argument does not need to be won. Whether that's through your team, through the people that are in your life, you're not right all the time. And Shay, I feel like you're laughing, but it's not funny. It is not funny. Shay, why are you laughing?
My bad. Go ahead. Talk your truth.
I have a team now, like I promise you, and I know they're gonna watch this episode because literally they know that I'm here. So when this episode comes out, they're like, "Ooh!" Like they're gonna text me like, "So we saw that you mentioned us." Yeah. There are times I've literally sat in a meeting like this past week, and like I gave a suggestion on how things should go, and they're like, "That's not gonna get us this far. Like, how about no?" And I'm just like, "But how about yes?" And they're like, "No." Like, be able to set the no and like keep it pushing, not the why or like why not trying to do this. No. So understanding that you're sometimes not always right and your way is not always the best way, and it can't be your way the highway is one thing. The second thing I would say is really
compromise, basically.
So when you say all that, are you saying that for yourself, or are you saying that?
I'm saying that as an entrepreneur, like not every decision that you make, especially if you have a team, like there's 3 of you guys. If you, Shay, for prime example, were saying that like we should do this, but like the 2 of them agree on like something completely different, they know that it can get you farther because it's either helped other businesses and whatnot. Like it can't just be what you say and then that's it. It has to be a collective joint team effort. Everybody has to agree on it. Everybody has to see the vision. Everybody has to want the same goal. So like you have to be able to take yourself out of like your ego and be like, what is ultimately the end goal? Like we all want to eat. We all want to be successful. We all want to impact the community. So like, okay, cool. Like maybe your idea is not the best idea because it's not going to get you that far reach the way you want to. So, like, you got to swallow that pride and, like, take the L. I'm sorry.
Why I gotta be the?
I'm just saying. I mean, like.
Why my idea can't?
I could
use him as an example.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so I got you next time. Next time I got you. I would say the second thing that I learned through my entrepreneur journey is know your traumas and don't bring them sometimes to work with you. Like when I first started my business, I started with my friends, and like they would call me a dictator. And it was more so because how my work ethic was. It was very militant. Like how I saw my business, it could be a Fortune 500 company. And I always have seen it that way. But at the time, I did not have the team that would make it there. And because of that, it was like we were still young. They still wanted to do whatever and have fun. And it's just like I felt like to move that way, like I had to become militant. I had to really lead by example. And I had to be like, yo, if we start a meeting at 7:30, everybody needs to be here at 7:30. And like, it was like no room for error. But like, I also had to realize people are human. And I just had to kind of realize like maybe they're just not the right team for me. And that was perfectly fine. And obviously just find the right individuals that were best for me. And then instead of being a dictator, just be able to trust the team that I have now. Like if we don't start at 7:30, okay, perfectly fine. But like there's quality that's going to be put in that meeting because everybody has now their position. And like I don't have to feel like I'm insecure about like things are not going to be able to get done. So understanding like that trauma of like I'm putting myself out there to be vulnerable with you guys and give you my idea and whatnot. And y'all are going to take it seriously. I think that's definitely kind of changed now. Like now I can sit back and relax as an entrepreneur and know the team that I've developed sees my vision and sees how far it can go because they know my work ethic, I know their work ethic, and we all want the same goal at the end. So I think that's really important. And sometimes you have to be vulnerable with your team so they know really what's going on sometimes in your life. So then they can move accordingly. Like they can maybe take more on than you can take on the minute because like if you only got, typically everybody has 100% to give. If you only come to the team meeting, you only got 20% to give today, it's got to be split up the other like 80% between other individuals. They're like, all right, cool. Like if you can only give 20% this meeting, I could take on 40, he could take on 40, and then that's it. So like understanding that, I think it's really important to have that like, you know, conversation and vulnerability with your team because they're going to hold you down no matter what. So that's what I would definitely say. And then the third and last one I would say, what's really important is definitely getting the help that you need. Sometimes the help that you need is not in your family, it's not your friends, it's not a boss. It really has to be like a therapist. It has to be a life coach. It has to be somebody that has the qualifications to actually deconstruct your mind and deconstruct what's going on in your life to make it make sense. I think as Black individuals or people of color in general, we typically shy away from that because we think that we can't find anybody that looks like us, or we don't know what that might look like because they might sit here and play mind games, or they might sit here and take advantage of our vulnerabilities or things like that. But people, like as a life coach like me, I'm here to help people. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm not here to use your insecurities against you. I'm not here to like judge you for whatever you're going through. My job is to help you. My job is to give you the habits and give you the information and knowledge that you need to go forward in order to make the best version of yourself. If I can't do that, and if a therapist can't do that, who do you feel like is best to do that in your life? Sometimes it may not be somebody that you pay. It might have to be, you know, a pastor or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. But I think it's important to find that person in order to help you get to the next level, because you're going to only keep being more deconstructive along your path if you don't find those individuals to push you to the next level and also heal your traumas, whether that's from childhood or even from as being an entrepreneur along the journey. So that's the three things I would probably say that I definitely learned.
I mean, that's definitely like a really great point, because like as an entrepreneur, like people don't really understand how much like mental health really plays a factor, because you have to be so like confident even when everything's on fire. You're not sure whether it's gonna work or not. You have so many things that's lined up against you. You know, you really putting yourself out there, and you really have to focus on like, you really have to master your emotions, your mental, and things like that. And I know like sometimes being an entrepreneur, like
It's scary.
yeah, it's definitely scary.
It's petrifying.
But I did want to get to a question. You mentioned about like, you know, significant other. Do you think that it's easier to, I guess, date someone who is not an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur?
So I've done both. Being now that I am in dating, I guess, somebody that is an entrepreneur, as well as, you know, maybe an entrepreneur, I think it has its ebbs and flows, because what I'm realizing in this relationship that I have right now is that we're both busy, like, and sometimes our schedules may not match. And sometimes our schedules do match. It may be limited though. But I think it's important to maybe just have an open line of communication and really understand the person's love languages. Like, what matters to me? Like, is gift giving your thing? Like, okay, so like if I don't see you and whatnot, but I really love when you send me roses so I know that you see me. And you feel me and you love me, so I feel appreciated. All right. If mine is words of affirmation, you may not be able to spend time with me today, but like, can you communicate me? Can you text me? Can you FaceTime me? So I can feel like, you know, that love and empathy. Like, I'm sorry I can't be there, but like I could be there through the phone with you. So ensuring like your partner really understands that. But I think when you're dating somebody that's not fully an entrepreneur, I also think that there's a downside where they don't really understand like how that hustle works. Like there's some entrepreneurs, when I first started, I only would sleep 4 hours and I would be up 20 hours a day. Like, and some people can't understand that. It's like, why are you going so hard for this? Like, you gotta work 8 hours. Or maybe 8 to 10 hours. Then like you gotta, you know, make sure like you get your other responsibilities done, whether that's tending to your house, you know, going to the gym, going food shopping, cooking, do whatever. And then the other time you're spending is working on your business and working on your craft and making those connections and doing whatever. Like, if that's the case scenario, then in the day, when do you have time left for them? They sometimes might feel neglected. So understanding that sometimes people can't get it. And that's when the relationship does fall. But it's like, then also this is where I say communication is thoroughly important, because if you really want your relationship to thrive, or if you want, you know, for y'all to get to the next level, it's like you might have to sacrifice, you know, a year, a few months or whatever. And sometimes some people can't do that. So I think personally, I think it's best to find somebody that understands the type of lifestyle that you desire. Whether that's entrepreneur or not entrepreneur. Do y'all want to be millionaires? Do y'all want to be thousandaires? Do you just want to live comfortably? Do you want to be a billionaire? Like, okay, cool. Then like, understand this is what comes with it. I might have to sacrifice not seeing you. I might have to sacrifice not going on your birthday trips. I might have to sacrifice, you know, not being able to get, you know, married in the next 2 to 3 years. Does that work for you? And those are conversations I think like as a couple you definitely need to have. And even before either you get into a relationship or even before you even walk down the aisle and say I do. Because that can be really, I would say, treacherous to like, you know, allow somebody to be in a relationship, fall in love with you, and then it don't work out. But I think there's ups and downs to dating both, to be truthfully honest. Not him smiling like that though.
Yo, he always smiling.
I can't help it.
Smiley ass nigga, like
why? That's one of my
That's a good quality though.
Yeah, good quality. So why you?
I don't know, but if somebody walk around just smiling for no reason,
I don't.
you just gonna
Come on.
Actually, that's not a bad thing to be truthfully honest.
You know what? I'm happy that there's more positivity at this table now. Cause like the things that I be going through, like I don't even want to talk about it. But go ahead.
But I want to ask y'all a question really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Since y'all asked me about the whole relationship thing, And I guess becoming from a Black woman, I guess it looks differently. But as a Black man, being an entrepreneur and probably dating, not every woman I'm gonna say is ambitious to be an entrepreneur. Like, and also there's different types of entrepreneurs for women. Like, obviously you can go in the beauty industry, you can be an influencer, you can be whatever. If you're not dating an entrepreneur, do you think your partner really understands what you're going through? And do you think that they can give you the support mentally that you need? Or do you think that it's best to receive it, from the person that you're doing business with?
I'll let you go first.
All right, go ahead.
I'll be giving y'all the good questions. See, like I did the same thing on my podcast. See,
you think
I can sit back and relax.
You gonna
Go
go
ahead,
first?
bro.
Huh? All right,
Someone just answer the question.
I don't know what's up with this guy, but I'll go first. No, so I feel like so I've dated someone who was an entrepreneur in the past, but I think that and I can only speculate, but I think if you date someone who is not an entrepreneur, maybe you can find solace. You know what I mean? Like maybe you can, maybe it's not so serious that it's not like grind mode and things like that. Maybe they can take your mind off of, the grind and things like that, and constantly thinking about entrepreneur, think about business, and maybe stop and smell the flowers and stuff like that. Like, hey, let's go to the movies. Let's do that. You know what I mean? And then it not be like so, so serious. But then on the flip side, dating someone who's an entrepreneur, you can kind of like confide in them and saying like, yo, I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if this is going to, because you can't really, I mean, you can, but like, it's kind of difficult to fully understand someone who's not an entrepreneur. It's kind of like really difficult to find that like solace. But then again, like you can also like kind of remind you about like what life is really meant about, like just kind of like appreciating the little things, and maybe that could be, you can find solace in that. So I mean, I think I hope that makes sense, but
it does.
Yeah, like
it's like a toss up.
Yeah, it just depends. Like if you date someone who's an entrepreneur, you can like, you can relate and things like that, and y'all can have those conversations. But if you date someone who's not an entrepreneur, maybe they could take your mind away from this whole business, this whole crazy thing, and kind of remind you about like, the good in life and smelling the flowers and just having fun, enjoying the moment, and not be on 100% grind all the time and things like that. But I think,
Okay. That's some good points.
Yeah.
Not just to piggyback off. I don't know. I've had some wild experiences in my past.
I need to hear these stories. Go ahead. Entertain me.
No, because women, like, not even women, people, it really just depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to at the end of the day, the individual. I can't say, because there's some people that work 9 to 5 that would be understanding. There's some people that are entrepreneurs that, even though they're going through the same thing you're going through, they're not understanding. You know what I mean? So it boils down to the individual. I've dated some people that they know like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I still have things I got to do with those responsibilities. And because of those things, we couldn't work. You know what I'm saying? Even though there was benefiting from like them things that I'm doing. So
you mean like when you said on my podcast, when you willing to spend $25,000 on a girl? Okay.
Okay. So if I'm like, okay, for example, if I'm hustling, right? If I'm doing grinding, putting all these hours in, and like you're now reaping those benefits of me putting those hours in, but yet you're complaining that like, hey, why are you not calling me? Why are you not texting me? Why are you not like attending to my needs?
Were you loving her through her love language though? There's a difference between loving somebody through your love language and loving her through her love language.
See,
because I think that some people, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that some individuals think that like if I'm loving you through the way I need to receive love, then you're doing your job. But that's not how love works. If a person says that, like, my love language is, quality time, or like, say if my love language is words of affirmation, but if you're not doing that and your love language is gift giving, if you're giving her gifts to be like, oh, well, I wasn't here for the last few days because I was working hard, but like I'm giving you flowers, or I'm, taking you to this expensive restaurant, that might not be what she needs. She just might need that words of affirmation. That means maybe her big thing is communication.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead. Tell me.
I'm going to ruin it for a lot of the boys out for a lot of the boys outside. But let me tell you something. This is a dangerous game. No, let me tell you.
Dangerous as in how?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, and I'm not even being funny.
Don't make me give you a bit bombastic side eye now.
Listen, when it comes to,
I love when you do.
Because
break it down.
Women who express what they want. So if they say, "Okay, my love language is gift giving," you can kind of take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can do the same thing with every love language.
But see, I feel like we should judge. So if I know, so if I know a woman, if she knows me, right? And she knows my behavior and my tendencies. She normally knows, let's say her love language is affirmation, right? And let's say she knows I'm not really like a gift giver. But when I see her or on special occasions, I'm always...
But you just said her love language is words of affirmation.
Okay, but if I know that, I'm going to just do it because I know that's what it takes. You know what I mean? So it don't mean nothing because you know that.
No.
You're
trying to manipulate.
No, hold on. But that's the...
You're not...
You see what he...
No.
You said it.
Wait,
that doesn't make any sense.
No, but that's...
what he said.
Unfortunately, that's what occurs.
But everybody don't think like that.
Most
like, if
do.
somebody's telling you their love language is words...
If a girl says, in order to have me, you got to take me to...
Ruth Chris.
You're going to take her to Ruth Chris?
I haven't been there in a long time.
That doesn't mean...
you know a fun fact? I've never been to Ruth Chris.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it?
Oh, you been there?
Yeah, steak is amazing.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that the guy wants you, though.
No, but there's a difference. I think this is a thing that, like, women are looking for.
Okay, talk to me.
Here's the gem that I'm going to drop. Women just want to be seen and understood. It's not about, like, there's some women out there that, like, it's valued with money, but it's like the effort behind the money. Like, you worked X amount of hours. Okay, with X amount of hours, how much devotion and time did you put into planning the date? So we can be seen that you truly love us. You can take me to all the expensive dinners in the world. I really won't give a fuck. I will tell you that now. But like, outside of the dinner, did we have quality conversation at the dinner? Did you like plan maybe you wanted me to wear a specific color. Maybe you wanted my hair to be a certain way. Maybe like after the dinner, there was some activity that you wanted us to do, whether that's like walking through Central Park, or maybe that's like, us like, you got me the 11th floor, like at the last podcast episode, the 25th floor. And then you decked it out with roses and things like that. Not saying that I've ever had that, and I still haven't, but that's besides the point. But it's the effort that was put in behind it. It's the effort that's put in behind it that women are looking and seeing that is there. It's not about the cost. It's about also the sacrifice that you're willing to make for such woman. Because not every man can sit here and get the 25th floor and get Ruth Chris and get all these expenses and luxury things. But like, if you really value the woman that, is tending to you at home, are you willing to spend your dime and hard-earned money to get her to feel like she is seen and heard? If that is her love language, is gift giving. But not, like I said, not everybody's love language is gift giving. Sometimes it's just the quality time. You can take me, for prime example, to Central Park and spend all night long with me just sitting and talking in Central Park to 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd be perfectly happy. But it has to be quality conversation. It has to be quality time that's thoroughly spent, us connecting, us understanding each other, and us being in our most vulnerable and truest self.
But as entrepreneurs, the time
But if you set aside time to do that, that's when it's valued the most.
So let me ask you this. For women, and I'm gonna put you for the voice of the women.
Okay, I'll be the voice of the woman.
What do you think is valued more?
I think every woman varies. That's the thing.
But
like
more, if you had to pick one.
Out of the 5 love languages?
Yeah.
I would say...
I mean, I know the answer. I'm just waiting for you.
In my opinion...
I know the answer. Yeah.
I think it's quality time.
I was going to say that.
It's quality time.
I was going to say quality time.
It's quality time.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Because we understand if we want a man that is really going to provide for us, if we want a man that is going to lay his life down on the line for us, we understand that we can't have your time all the time. And that's a hard lesson for me to learn. I'm an only child. So for growing up for me, it was just me. Like when I think growing up with siblings is just different. Like you learn that your time has to be split between both parents or just in general. But when you're an only child, like your time never has to be split. It's just work and then the child. That's it. This really is. Like your time, when you're not with your parent is working. When you're at home, you have all time to your parent. So for me, understanding quality time with a partner for me is thoroughly essential. Like if you work 8 hours a day at somebody else's, and then you got to work the minute you get home 6 hours a day on your craft. Obviously, I know by the time you're ready to go to sleep, you may not have that time for me. But if you're willing during your 6 hours to make that time for me, that speaks volumes.
Nah, I feel you, and I feel like,
and even if you're willing to like not take on as many crafts, or like if you're willing to come out with me to do something that benefits my craft, that speaks volumes for me as well.
Nah, I feel you. You know, in a perfect world, and ideally, that would be the case. But I really feel like in today's society,
it still is the case. I think it really is. This is the thing. I think that there are women out there that have ruined it for women like myself. I think that is the thing. Women like myself have gotten ruined it by the women that really have been hurt. And at this point, they want whatever they can get out of a man, and then that's that. So then I'm not going to say that they're throwaways, but I'm not going to say that there are women that are like fully healed from that trauma. Because at one point in time, I was that woman. And I understand, like, you just want to get what you can get out of the man that you, like, you know, are with, and be able to be like, all right, this will suffice me for right now. And whether that's physical touch, whether that's gift giving, whether that's, you know, the words of affirmation, whatever it is, but that's not really the way you want to feel loved and the way you want to really be seen. You have to be able to really understand where that trauma is coming from and really understand, like, all right, like, what do I really need out of a partner? Or what do I really need just to be seen, whether that's from family, friends, significant other, through maybe where I work or whatever. Like if it's, I need just somebody to talk to, or I need to just sit in a room with you. You could be working on your own stuff. That's perfectly fine. But like, I just want to occupy the same space as you. Like if that's what it is, then that's perfectly fine. You have to be able to see yourself and be able to make that next step to like that healing process. So then you can communicate that with a partner.
I did have a follow-up question. How did you break free of the shackles?
Wait, before you even go there.
Okay.
See, the way I look at life is who do people look up to the most? Who do people follow the most? What's trending? What's current? And I feel like the narrative of women now,
it's toxicity. It's toxicity, 100%.
Right. And so when I ask you, like, for women, like, who, like, what side, like, I don't know, because, you know, if you look at the, like, the artists, what they rap about, especially women artists. I'm
going to pause you right there.
Go ahead.
The reason why I think most women artists that are rapping like this now, and I swear if I get canceled, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. let's look back at hip hop 20 years ago, right? Niggas was calling girls bitches, hoes, all these other things, right? And this is in the early 90s, like before like Boys to Men and all that. Like we had the Boys to Men, tell me
what you want. Oh.
Yep, all that. So you had all that, right? After that, you had the little dip in music where it was like all these women are coming out being salacious, and obviously all you wanted for women was their bodies and sex. So it's like if that's all you want, and then you got the deadbeat fathers and like the men aren't in the home and you're creating all these women are going to retaliate eventually after that.
Right.
So it's like, all right, if you only see me for my body, if you only see me for like certain qualities, then I'm going to give you the same energy back. So now, yes, you have the woman empowerment, and yes, you have the woman out here saying like, all I need you is for your dick. But like, think about it. Y'all did that to us 20 years prior. No. And we sat there quietly and didn't say nothing.
No, right.
Because you had Queen Latifah, prime example, coming out in 1990, let's look, 1992, 1993, 94, with Ladies First and whatnot, and creating an anthem or coming out with Unity, right? So she was trying to still uplift women. Like when black men are beating us down or people are beating us down regardless, we're trying to be the positive person, but are we getting the same shadow that y'all are getting? No.
Right.
So now when you're having all these artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, City Girls, and whatever, and they're taking advantage of men, and obviously girls are leading down that path. Yeah, because it's more so we got tired of being dug into a damn hole.
Right, and I'm not even, I agree with you.
Okay.
But when I ask you, so what side do they favor with? I don't think any of those girls that numbers represent that or follow that path are gonna choose a guy that's spending quality time, right?
So what was the love language that you said that that was just right?
I really want to know that too, huh? Yeah. Because if you about to say gift giving, I promise you it's not that.
No, let me tell you something. The only reason why certain girls are still with certain people is because of the lifestyle they provide.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Certain women don't want to compromise. You know, they always say if a guy has too much time, he don't got nothing going on. So that's a whole different conversation right there. Because a guy can whisper, you know, I'm gonna tell you all the, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I want to take you on.
I need you.
I need you. all that sweet shit you want to hear, and spend all the time with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's a guy that's working hard.
Yeah. That barely has time.
Yep.
But the thing is, once again, when you don't barely have that time, are you spending time with her or are you spending time with your men? This is the thing that I think guys this is where y'all be messing up on, right? I promise you, this is where I probably will earn my feedback back with your female listeners. This is the thing, y'all be having this free time. Y'all be finally like, ooh, I worked a 12-hour day, 16-hour day, 20-hour day. And guess what y'all want to do? Go spend it with your niggas. Like, what? Why are you in a relationship with me? I haven't seen you in a week. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. When's the last time we went on a date? Like a month ago? What?
With the guys.
Like, oh, but you only come to me when you want to call my phone, when you want some head, or like you want to have sex and things like that. Like, why am I here then? Like,
no.
Like, I'm not just a pussy pocket for you. I'm sorry. Excuse my language, but I'm not a pussy pocket for you.
Hold on. So sometimes when it comes to women.
Go ahead. Please say something that I promise you I can rebuttal really well.
No, cause I could do this all day.
We can do this. We can.
Sometimes when it comes to women, if I'm chilling with my guys, it costs damn near to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like we just chilling, we vibing. But when I'm with a girl, I know it's gonna cost me. Every time. Why should
I don't know why. I don't know why y'all think there's a cost to this, because there's a cost to spending time with your mans. There's a cost to spending time with your mans.
Wait, hold on. Okay. All right. Let me give you.
There's a mental cost to spending time with your man, and there's always a financial cost. Y'all just have no problem spending no cost.
That's not true.
What?
Hold on.
Okay, there's a difference between spending costs with your mans if it's on video games. That's fine. But if y'all have to go out to do certain things.
No.
There's a cost to spending time with your man.
No.
Sometimes girls just want to be in the bed with you. We just want to cuddle up and watch Netflix and order Chinese food. That's it. That's all we want. But guess what? When your mans be want to go to the bar or y'all want to be going to do nut shit, I promise you there is a cost. There is a cost y'all don't be putting in. Your lives be sometimes on the line.
No. I agree. Like,
Go ahead. Try and tell me a fairy tale real quick. Go ahead.
Hold on. Going out with your guys and going out with your girl, that's two different bills right there.
Sometimes.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Depending on the female.
Wait. Because most times, guys are gonna cover this. Most times. Yes, true or false?
Depending on who the man is.
What do you expect?
Okay, there's a difference. I'm the type of girl that if you spend $500 on me, I can spend $500 on you.
No, I'm not disputing that, but I'm asking.
But most girls, yes, do we want you to pay? Obviously, because chivalry isn't dead.
Okay, right.
I'm gonna keep saying that chivalry isn't dead.
Right. Okay.
But like, obviously, I know when you go out with your guys, obviously he gonna pay his bill, you gonna pay your bill. Obviously.
Okay, cool. So let's keep it at that. One.
Okay.
That's one. Two. You mentioned if I want my guys just want to cuddle.
No, if you with your girl, you want to cuddle with your guys?
No.
Shay, do you cuddle with him?
No, when you with your girl. Sorry.
Shay, do you cuddle with him? Is there a conversation with y'all need to have?
Don't even go there. No. I said when you with your guy, like when you're with your guy.
Okay.
You said you mentioned.
Sometimes I just want to be under you. Yes.
And you said order Chinese food.
And order Chinese food, watch Netflix.
Cool. That costs. But if I'm with my boy,
that costs $25 or $30.
Hold on.
You gonna order the same Chinese food if you watch it. If you go to your man's house, you more. Telling me? Wait, pause.
It costs more. I got covered.
You know what the funny thing is? Y'all all getting the same food that's on the same bill, right? But it costs you gas to get to his house, right? So then there's money in that. Wait. Then there's liquor that y'all probably got. So y'all all probably split money for a bottle, right? So then the gas, the cost of the bottle, and the Chinese food that you got is all the same cost potentially for what you're gonna spend potentially with your girl.
But your girl's you're not gonna go half all the time with your girl. Right.
But there's a difference. You be getting girls where they don't probably spoil you back. That's that's your downfall. That's what's sounding like your downfall.
That's not even true.
Because you know what? This is one thing. One thing that I would say. This is why I know my man for a fact can't say nothing to me, because I know for a fact he just wants promise him a vacation. I promise you, if I spend a certain amount, when it comes to me going on a vacation for next, I promise you it would be the same thing that goes back and forward. If you spend $500, I'll spend $500. You spend $1,000, I'll spend $1,000. But you probably be to with girls that don't be spending money on you. That's your problem. That's your problem.
That's not true. That's not true.
And that's what it's sounding like. That's what it's sounding like.
You gotta understand that sometimes.
That's what it's sounding like.
Sometimes guys don't want to have to deal with the responsibility.
Okay, and so you think girls want to deal with the responsibility? It's a give and put. That's how relationships work. It's a 50-50 or 100-100 put into it. No. You do the same thing with your guys. I'm pretty sure. Let me ask you this question, because I have a guy best friend I've had for almost 20 years. Right? You know how like guys will say like there's the same $20 I'll be going back and forth on each time? Do you have the same thing with your guy friends?
What do you mean same $20?
Like the same $20. All right. So
I
like
owe you 20. I do 20.
Yeah. So you have the same thing. So isn't that the same thing sometimes? Like, wouldn't it be the same situation sometimes with your girl?
No.
Like okay, like how I'm saying, like if you got Chinese food this time, she don't got Chinese food this time. Next time, like do y'all not do that back and forth type thing?
Nah. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't really. If I'm with a woman.
So you just pay for everything. So that's where you mess up.
No, but
that's what I'm hearing. What I'm sounding like, it sounds like you're the one. You're the problem here.
Hold on.
What I'm hearing is sounds like you're getting.
Hold on.
I think I know where he's going.
Hold on.
I think I know where he's going.
I need to hear, because maybe I'm not understanding.
So it really depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sure. If I know your situation.
Yeah.
Even though I know you can do X, Y, and Z, right. I wouldn't allow you. Yeah. That's just me personally. For what?
So you want to be the man that has the more of the.
It's not even I want to. It's just more so. Why would I want you to do that? It's not even like I need to feel like I'm superior or the man.
It's not about being superior, but it's more so, why can't a woman take care of you just as much as you take care of her?
No, I just feel like it's situation based.
Why does it have to be situation based?
Let me give you an example. If let's say I make $1,000 a week,
Mm-hmm.
and she makes $100 a week, why would I make her? You know what I'm saying? Why?
I mean, I get that, but
Why?
what if she
To
saved
prove
up
what?
that? What if she saved up that money?
But
that
why would I? She don't gotta do that.
What if because she just wants to cater to you?
Honest, just different ways she could do that.
But that's what she wants to do in that moment.
But I'm gonna feel like me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't like seeing girls breaking their back for me. Doing like X, Y. You don't gotta do that. I do all this that I'm doing just so you don't.
Diamond boy.
You're a little bit more comfortable.
But you know what the funny
Life
thing is?
with me is easier.
It's easier.
You know what the thing is?
I tell you.
But the funny thing is, like, y'all be saying that, but then, like, in the same breath, y'all be blowing that back in our face sometimes, too.
No,
I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Only
I promise you, your female followers might agree with me. Y'all say that y'all want us to, like, you know, oh, like, we make the lifestyles easier for you. We do this and third, but in the same breath, like, the minute something happens,
because you know why? It comes as unappreciated.
Does it come unappreciated in an argument?
Don't matter.
Okay.
Don't matter. Because when you was grateful to get all these things, oh my God, thank you so much. Now when y'all mad and heated, I don't give a fuck what you think you could just throw that. That's not how it works. You know, you just gotta remember.
That I understand, but I think it depends on like the trajectory of the argument. Like sometimes there are things that we didn't ask for, but you kind of persuaded for us to take.
Okay, hold on.
Because we don't want to damage y'all egos.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Like y'all, like I hate to say it, sometimes it's a conversation that men like to tiptoe around, but sometimes y'all egos don't allow y'all to like just take that L and just let the woman. Like I'm not saying that men can't lead all the time. I think that men should lead majority of the time, obviously. But like if you want to be with a woman and she's self-sufficient, or just like a woman wants to feel like she has some type of power in her own relationship with you, I think it's important to like just sometimes take the backseat. But sometimes men cannot do that. And because that y'all men cannot do that because of your egos, that leads us to be like, we have to swallow our ego and swallow our pride to make you feel like you are valuable. And it's not for us, it's for y'all.
Listen, I understand what you're saying completely. But I realize in life when it's how do I say it? Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Say it's your birthday.
My birthday's coming up.
And let's say the guy gets you flowers, roses. He brings a band out for you, like to come sing and all that. Let's say he does A through Z for you. And then on the flip side, you say, I ain't asked for that.
It's not the fact that it's not appreciated. It's more like, do you know your girl well enough to know
that's true. Whether she likes it or not.
That's what she's gonna like.
Yeah.
Sometimes
that's true.
Like I'm not gonna be that type. Like I'm not gonna speak for myself because that might be something I might like. But like for some, that may be something I might like. But for some women, it can be like.
Not because you made a point that said.
I might want to go to a concert, or I might want to like go to.
But you said effort.
But the thing is, the effort to know who and the person you're dating.
No, but
this is the thing. For prime example, you've been dating somebody for 3 to 6 months, or maybe a year, 2 years. Excuse me, but like. You've watched this person either talk about certain things throughout the past year, or you've been through certain things with them, and like you should know what they want. You should know what they need. If you're just like what I said to you before, you're loving them through the love language that you think that you want. You want somebody to give to you. You're not loving them through the love language in which they desire. I think maybe me personally as a woman, and I think most women do this, we give subliminals, exactly, low key, just droplets of what we want for our birthday, right? Or just for Valentine's Day, Christmas, or whatever. Like we might tell you. And the thing is, I think with men, yeah, but okay, sure, whatever. And it goes in one ear and out the other. And so like there's some men that like, y'all catch our drift or whatever. So shout out to y'all, man. We thoroughly appreciate y'all. But like we'll tell you, and then if like you say no, or like you like okay, cool, like, and then you kind of surprise us with a whole completely different other gift or whatever, like what we want. When you're calling us unappreciative, it's more like, so you weren't listening for the last 6-7 months of what we told you exactly what we wanted. And like sometimes it'd be direct, or sometimes it'd be indirect, or sometimes it'd just be like,
Joy.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, because it's like the thing is like you're not listening. You're you're trying to be a rebuttal, and I don't need you to be a rebuttal. I need you to hear what I'm saying. I need you to hear the words that are coming out of these lips.
I understand what you're saying.
Go ahead.
You don't understand how much.
I think Shay's agreeing with me right now, because I think like you're trying to be so much on the antagonist. I don't need you to be antagonist. I need you to hear from what a woman is saying.
No.
Go ahead.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But
you be doing the opposite.
No, I think
you be doing the opposit.
No, it's not even about doing the opposite. I think it's a matter of,
because you're gonna say that we're unappreciative.
It's just a matter of thinking differently. I'm gonna tell you why.
Is it thinking differently to appease your needs, or is it thinking differently to appease the needs that you think that we need?
Forget about my needs. Listen, if I give you the answer to a math problem,
what if I didn't ask you the answer? What if I didn't ask you the answer? What if I just asked you to just listen?
Hold on. Let me not even complicate things. If you have to tell me what you want, and
what if you ask me what I want for my birthday, and then I like discreetly kind of tell you subliminally what I want?
But you know what the issue is? Some women, I'm not gonna say all, they're gonna it's dicey. Nah, some women they're gonna give the answer, but you shouldn't give the answer.
Sometimes we don't give you the answer. Like that's why I said we subliminally tell you. Like we could be walking. Wait.
You tell me what you want for your birthday, all because I do what you say you want don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But it's more so we feel seen. I think that's what you're not.
You know what the issue is?
That's not what you're not getting. You're not getting. No, it's not going. It's not going through your brain. It's not going through the earlobes into your brain. It's not computing. It's not making. You're making the math equation so much more difficult than it needs to be.
No. See,
I'm trying to give you the answer. I'm trying to give you the sauce, and you're not taking the sauce.
No.
I'm giving you the magic sauce, bro, and you're not getting it. I don't think you're understanding.
Okay, just wait.
Like, I don't like.
Wait. Give it to him. 1 second.
Like, I'm trying to help you.
Hold on.
I'm trying to make I'm trying to make you a good future husband, and you're not getting it.
Hold on.
You know, go ahead. See, it's always gonna be.
Listen.
It's always gonna be your way. It's the highway. It's okay. Go ahead.
That's not true. But. See,
what you showing?
What you said was, see, I'm gonna break it down.
Okay, go ahead.
Number one. I feel like a woman shouldn't have to tell a man what she wants for her to get what she wants. One, wait. Don't just wait. The moment you tell a man, okay, I want X, Y, and Z, if he does that, you cannot question the genuinity in it.
But sometimes, wait, let me ask this question. Okay. What if he's done everything? Like, prime example, I'm in a space within my life where the person that I'm dating currently knows what I want, right?
Okay. Without you telling him.
Of course. So I think we've had enough conversations to know. Right. But like, if it came to a gift, I might be indecisive if he says, oh, like, what do you want for your birthday? Sometimes I don't even know. Like, my friends have asked me, like, what do I want to do for my birthday? And I'm like, for once in my life, my 26th birthday is coming up, and I have no idea what I want to do. Right? But if this might be a year or two from now, and finally I have a click in my head with like what I want to do. But like he's done everything. He's like, maybe we're living together. Maybe we're not living together. I don't know. But like if my needs are being met, if like he's taking me on multiple dates, if he's done whatever, and he's like, all right, like all these things that I've done for you thus far this year, like I've given you everything that you asked for. What do you want to do for your birthday? I don't feel like that's not being able to like not see her for what she knows or what she wants. It's like, all right, I've given you everything that you've asked for thus far. Like, what do you actually want for your birthday? Like, how do you want to spend your birthday? I don't think that's not knowing what she wants. I think it's just like, what haven't you done that you might be open to exploring on your birthday? So like, I think that opens room for like the discussion to be had. That doesn't mean that you don't know your partner. I think it's just like, it could be something different that you might want to explore.
Like that I agree with.
But
because that's based on situation. Okay, it's your birthday. It's a significant day. What do you want to do for, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? You said, if he knows for example, you said, if he knows my love language is words of affirmation. If I tell a woman that, okay, I like words of affirmation, and the next 30 days or going forward, all she does is give me words of affirmation, how do I know it's genuine?
Because she's learning to love you through your love language.
No, but that's where a lot of women get it messed up. You know what I'm saying?
If I can explain it, it's like, you know how like when you first, you know, in the talking stages and, you know, you ask somebody, okay, what do you like, right? Like, oh, you know, I like a person who does X, Y, and Z. The next thing you know, this person is doing X, Y, and Z. Then you start thinking, well, is it really genuine? Because I already told you.
I already told you.
Okay, that makes sense. But it's more like you have to understand. You could tell if somebody's thoroughly genuine about it and thoroughly not, because like over time will tell, right? Like when I started off my situation, for prime example, I said my love languages were physical touch and quality time. And as time progressed, I realized that's actually not the love language that I thought it was. Mine is words of affirmation and quality time. I like to be reassured. I like that validation to know like how my partner feels about me or like what things are going on, and like having those deep, intimate conversations. And that communication is really important to me. I'm not saying that physical touch needs to be neglected at all. No, but like understanding how your partner likes words of affirmation. It's not like, oh, babe, you're doing an amazing job, like I'm proud of you, or things like that. Like that doesn't matter. But it's more like when I might be feeling insecure about something, or I might be feeling some type of way, like ensuring that your partner feels like secure within, like, oh, I'm about to go do this. So I may not be able to talk to you for this amount of time, but like the minute I'm done or this and the third, I'm going to reconnect and have a conversation with you, or I'm going to do this and the third. And that makes that person feel seen. That makes that person feel understood, and that you see them. It's not like you're neglecting them. I think that's what like people are like mistaking. Like you need to understand how the person wants to receive that words of affirmation or that validation or that reassurance. So that like that good job, babe, or doing this, like that can make a person just feel like it's generic. But like understanding the exact type of way the person needs that reassurance and needs those words of affirmation can go a long way. Even when it comes to, probably example, gift giving. I promise you can go buy me a Louis bag right now. That means nothing to me. Go buy me a Telfar bag, or go buy me a Brandon Blackwood bag. That makes me feel more seen, because you know that I would prefer Black-owned bags, or you know, things that were made by Black-owned creators or small businesses. That's gonna make me help me stand out more and help produce somebody else's business that obviously is not in the millions. It's gonna make me feel more seen. I don't need to be like everybody else having Louis and Gucci and whatever.
And Teflon is harder to get.
That's a fact.
You gotta be. I'm telling you, you gotta be on it.
You gotta be on it. So
you
like,
gotta be on
it. Wait in line.
Yeah, it's an effort to it.
There's a $567 bag that I want, but like we're not kind of that conversation right now from Telfar. But you know, if they want to sponsor me one day, I gladly, you know, be that, you know, person you could sponsor. But if somebody wants to give me that for my birthday, you know, it's out there, and just letting you know. But that's besides the point. But I digress. But like, if you love me through that love language to understand like what I want, that makes me feel like you really get me.
You know what I think? I think a lot of women even I don't know if it's just women, but people, they're just like they just want what they want, and it kind of it's almost my way or the highway. If you don't do this for me, you don't love me. And I feel like that shouldn't be the approach.
But then you also have
wait 1 second.
I was gonna say you gotta have a partner that understands it.
Or it's like, yo, if you don't do what I want, you're not listening. And that necessarily.
But how much are you listening though? That's the problem.
If I don't do what you want,
it's not about like if you don't do what I want, but it's like if it has to be my partner's way, 98% of the time, and I only get that 2%. It really is gonna feel like I have no just or say in my relationship. And it really is going to feel like and what I say or what I bring to the table doesn't matter.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you consider yourself an alpha woman?
It's given yes.
It's giving like
it's given yes.
I'm trying to define what alpha woman is. No. Okay. So am I control freak? Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Look the other way. Look the other way. Yes.
Okay.
However, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. Just turn the other way. It's not about you. It's about me. Am I learning that I can't be in control all the time? Yes, I understand that.
Right. So you are an alpha woman.
I wouldn't say I'm an alpha woman. It's the fact that you're trying to look at me through a camera is mind your business. I'm not gonna say I'm an alpha woman. It's just that I just feel like that there is a compromise in everything. And I feel like we both can get what we want, maybe in due period of time.
But for now,
like I'm okay with accepting that I can't get everything that I want right now. And it's taking me a lot. And I think
which means you're an alpha woman though.
I think
if it takes you a lot, and if it takes due time, that means it takes.
But it's more so, are you in something for the long haul? Like I think with being an alpha woman, you also have to be able to understand how to like. With alpha woman, they can't submit. And
no,
I think
that's not true.
No. So most alpha, I promise you, there's some women can, some alpha women do not submit.
Right. Because they think in the control.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't feel like I'm gonna feel like I'm fully an alpha woman, because I think I've come to a point, the way that I'm moving now, and I don't know if this is based off my new partner that I currently have, or it's more so the direction and where I want to go long term, is that I think that for the only sake of both of our mental healths, is that there has to be a give and pull, and there has to be like, it's like a swing. Like sometimes you're going to be up and sometimes I'm going to be down. Sometimes you're going to be up and I'm going to be down. I mean, sometimes you're going to be down and I'm going to be up. Or sometimes there's going to be, we're both, getting on that same playing level. But like, there's going to be times I'm going to have to submit whether I like it or not. And
can I tell you? You're coming from a point of being an alpha woman if you don't hear yourself. Because I feel like
I hear you, but I don't fully agree.
I feel like naturally women don't like to. They're okay with, all right, whatever you say goes.
No, see, I wasn't
like because you're an alpha woman though.
No, I mean, okay, I've learned.
Do you feel like you're, to me, I feel like in most relationships, the woman feels like the man has not ultimate, but the most like say. You feel what I'm saying? But for you, I feel like maybe it could be 50-50. True or false? If the man said, yo, babe, we out. She gonna say, yo, my man said we gotta go. But for you, I feel like, nah, nigga. We staying. And then y'all maybe, come to y'all, compromise. You may go, you may not, but you feel like you.
I think it depends on the situation.
It's a conversation.
I think that's the thing. Like for me, I feel like everything is a conversation. I think like to be had.
If it's a conversation, that means.
No, I think the only reason why I say it's a conversation, because there are certain things that, like, if my man came to me today and said, like, this is how things are going to go, it's more like you have to know that the person that you're dating is not going to lead you down a dark path, right? You have to look at how a person grew up. You have to look at, like, the direction in which they're heading. You have to know that they're level-minded. You have to know, like, their intentions for you and for themselves. You have to know that, like, they align with what you need and what you want for a relationship, right? And these are conversations that you need to have up front. And so with those things that you know, if he says, yo, we leaving at 2:00 on the dot, no ifs, ands, or buts, like, I don't care. Like, if we in a club, like, and they playing your favorite song, you need to be walking out the door with me at 2:00. There needs to be no discussion had, because, like, you don't know, like, he might be trying to save you for something that's gonna happen later on as time goes on or whatever. But, like, if it's for something that, like, I would say, like, all right, it's worth, like, having a conversation on, like, oh, he's trying to do this and the third, like, whether, not, like, leave, like, I wouldn't say, like, an opportunity on the table, but, like, say if, like, you're out somewhere and you're having a conversation and he's like, oh, it's time to go. It's just like, all right, like, what if there's more on the table that can be beneficial to you or beneficial to him? Like, I feel like a conversation can be had right then and there. Like, hey, like, could we say, like, a few more minutes? Like, there might be some value into this that might benefit you in the long term or benefit me in the long term. And, like, not everybody's going to be able to see that forthright. And, like, you're trying to make sure, like, y'all both are good, or, like, you know, even if it's something for, like, the sake of y'all. Like, let me give a scenario. All right, so say if your significant other doesn't want to go on a vacation right now, right? And say if it's like they've been working really hard and whatever, and they want to continuously keep working hard, but you know the vacation might benefit their mental health. So you already started planning whatever, like, what I say goes, like, we're not going on vacation, but it's like, no, we're going to go on vacation because, like, for the last 16 months, I've watched you work tirelessly 7 days a week. And the only time you've given yourself off are maybe vacation days. I think a conversation could be had for you to just take lead on that and be like, no, what I say goes on this. Like, you need these 5 days to yourself. You need these 5 days to reconnect with me, because I don't feel like you've seen me over the last 16 months. Or I may not feel like you even have tended to yourself for the last 16 months, because I've looked at you for the past every other month to go get a damn haircut. So, like, maybe you just need to take a breather. So understanding, like, that there are times you can take a seat back and be like, okay, like, let your partner be that alpha, but there are times, like, you need to be that alpha woman. I think that's probably where I would say.
I feel like the energy I'm getting is, like, it can't be based on ego.
Yeah.
It gotta be some reasoning behind. If you're telling me, all right, it's time to go, there has to be a reason why, like, oh, I think he has something planned. It's not based on because he wants to, you know.
Yeah, like, I feel like sometimes with men, I think that sometimes y'all let y'all egos get in the way. With love and respect, I love y'all. I like, one thing I would say I love black men, but sometimes y'all got an ego thing. Or just men in general. Sometimes y'all really do got an ego thing.
Why are you looking at me?
Because y'all do. Like, y'all really do got an ego thing. Like, and it's like, as a black woman, we understand y'all ego.
What's the ego? What's the ego? I feel like we don't. I feel like black women have an ego.
I really hope y'all really get my face on this. Cause
let's talk about it though.
Woo! What's the ego? Y'all just got an ego for days. Like, it just be like, I just want to, like, you know.
Ego like what though?
Like, y'all ego just be getting in the way. Like when what? Y'all be even sometimes 10 toes down wrong. Y'all be wrong.
Women don't.
I'm not saying that we are. This is the one thing I would say about women, and sometimes
don't shoot.
I'm about to say something that's probably going to, like, you might actually get up, walk out the room, and be like, wow, she really gets it. And I'm praying this person don't get up and walk out the room too. We lack accountability.
Women
lack accountability.
Okay, I agree.
And not Shay laughing. Like, we lack accountability on some aspects, but y'all have a thing with y'all pride and y'all ego. Like, y'all just can't let it go. Like, no matter if y'all wrong, like, y'all just 10 toes down wrong.
But that's
and the apology thing for y'all rather block us than accept the defeat. Wait.
See, that kind of contradicts.
No, wait. With women, eventually we have to come around and say that we're wrong because like we have to feed into y'all ego.
The women, everybody, let's no.
Wait, like no, it's a fact. Like we really do have. We like what? Like I could just wait.
One second.
Okay, go ahead.
Everybody knows.
Women feed into y'all egos more than men do. It's okay. Go ahead.
Everybody says it. The women's always right. The men's always wrong.
No. Wait. If you say happy wife, no. If you want to say happy wife, wait, no. If you want to say happy wife, happy life. Right. It's more so the reason. The thing is, if you want to say happy wife, it's the thing is, if you want to say. This is the thing. If you want to say happy wife, happy life, it's because at the end of the day, y'all want to avoid arguments. That's the thing.
Because we don't want to tell you when you guys are wrong.
Yes. But at the same
way. Accountability.
No, but in the same breath, there are times that
and ego.
This is the thing. I promise you, there are some times that y'all are just truthfully wrong, and it's more so like y'all just really got to trust y'all woman's instinct, and it's sometimes like men just can't trust women's instincts because y'all think that like if we're right, like that takes away from your masculinity.
No, but and like
in some aspects, it really does take away from y'all. It really does take truly away from y'all masculinity when we are right, and then if we become alpha in that moment, see you drinking right there, so you know I'm going on that road of being right, because you know like if there's a moment when we are potentially right more than y'all sometimes because y'all can't take the fact of like your woman being right, like. Y'all really can't stomach it. Like,
I don't think that's the case.
Not all men can stomach. Some men cannot stomach when their woman is right. Like it really it makes them feel less of a man. Honestly, and because y'all feel less of a man when you're wrong, it's like we have to.
That's not true.
Oh my God! I promise. Like I really wish I could line up like 50 women in here. I promise you, they would all say the same thing.
Let me tell you something. From my experience,
go ahead.
Most of the guys that I know, if they're wrong, they're pretty stand up. Okay, I'm wrong. You're right.
But how many arguments did they have to get in order for them to say that they were wrong?
Hold on.
How many times did they have to piss off their girl in order for them to say that though?
They're gonna say it regardless because the girl always wants to be right.
No, it's not that we care about saying we're right. It's just that why do we have to go through all this torment, or why do we have to go through all these treacherous things in order for you to just realize we could have been right from the jump?
You want to know what's crazy?
What?
There's a lot of girls that think they still right, but they're really wrong. Do you know that?
He on to something.
Do you know that?
This guy,
and let me tell you something.
He's on to something.
There's more girls that would never admit they're wrong.
It's hard.
Guys
it's so hard. It's so hard.
Admit they're wrong. You know that?
But
I feel like if you do a poll, and maybe we can make it happen.
Matter of fact, before you drop this episode, this should be a little clip that you should put.
More guys will admit they're wrong than women to admit they're wrong. That's a fact.
I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one.
Girls do not.
I'm gonna have to agree with. I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one.
They wouldn't.
They try to justify.
But this is the thing.
Justify.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Oh,
yeah, but
I just feel like
you got a point, but
okay.
I feel
that what I said.
This is the thing that I would say when it comes to women.
I feel like,
and this is where this is the thing that when it comes to women and where we make mistakes, we come into the argument sometimes with feelings without having logic, and I do the same thing, and that's fine. But like with men, y'all are constantly thinking with logic rather than feelings.
No.
Versus with women, we're gonna think with feelings first, logic second. And so because we're on two opposite ends of the spectrum, we both can't come to a sense of thinking with both at the same time. And so because we both can't come to the same thing, thinking at the same time, this is why women will either take we don't want to be wrong, or we're Mrs. Right even though like men can be wrong, or then we're either taking the low road where we'll accept the fact that we're obviously right and y'all are wrong because y'all are going to think with the logical aspect. And sometimes it's not about with the logical aspect where you need to think about with the feelings aspect. So it's a push and pull when it comes to the logic versus feelings. This is why when it comes to men and women arguing, we never, not saying that we never can never think on the same aspect because at the end of the day, it's so far off.
Well, I feel like.
Go ahead.
I see what you did there. I think.
You think? That sounds still like a woman's statement.
Maybe it's me. I don't know. I just feel.
As you feel, once again, sound like a woman's statement, right?
That, it's just like it's okay to be wrong. Sometimes your significant other, they feel like, I can't be wrong. But I always tell any girl I'm talking to, it's okay. I understand. You could be, you're wrong. I get it. I'm with you.
You know what the thing is? Let me ask you this question. When you say that, is it because Shay talked about the delivery earlier with the criticism. Wait. Let me just back out a bit.
My delivery's off.
Wait. Your delivery?
I admit it.
What do you mean delivery off of the same? What do you mean off of women too? Because I'm thinking if I was a woman dating you and you're telling me that I'm wrong, and how you deliver it with your friends is you gotta be a little bit like more tender with women. You have to, and that's what I'm thinking. If you're telling me that I'm wrong, automatically I'm gonna become defensive, and no matter how wrong I'm gonna be 160 feet down. No. It's not about accountability. It's the fact that at the end of the day, pride. It's not about ego. Okay, it's the fact that you're gonna become defensive because at the end of the day, I'm gonna feel like you're trying to defame and attack my character. It's not about attack. But the thing is, you're not. Approach. Women are more sensitive, though.
No. Think about it. Even though we have to wrap this up, right? Think about it.
I'm
only here to help you.
But you're not helping me with how you're doing it.
It's condescending.
Exactly.
Stop.
You are. You're being.
It's okay. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All things money. The lovely Joy and the debate between Demi, aka
it's not condescending.
Dash Wavy.
There you have it. That's the end of it.
All things money.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Please like, subscribe, all that. We trying to get sponsored. What's the name of this?
Espelon. Shout out to Espelon. We would love to do
a partnership, a deal,
partnership business with you guys. We love drinking this bottle.
Yes,
it was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
It helps for the environment, the vibes, the amount of people. So if you're out there looking for a group of people to drink with, this is the bottle to get. So shout out to Espelon. We always go for Esposado, so make sure you grab that at your local liquor store.
Yep.
And thank you guys for definitely having me on.
Of course.
I'm gonna shout myself out real quick. So I'm a certified life and wellness coach. I specialize in building habits-based coaching for individuals that start probably from the age of middle school all the way up to almost until your granny leaves this earth. My goal is to help build the Black and Brown community and people of color to think about habits that they want to build for future success, as well as build partnerships within local communities to build better infrastructures within school systems, as well within public health narratives, and just build a better and bright tomorrow. So if you need to find me, you can find me at jwpcoach.com. I have an open booking for, consultations currently for life coaching, as well as I'm kind of slowly working on a book to build a brighter tomorrow. So if you want to find my podcast, you can find it at the Share It All podcast on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere that you listen to your podcast episodes. And you can go find the episode that I did with these two lovely gentlemen. And thank you guys for having me on.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to do this again sometime.
Of course.
All things money.
All things money.
Joy. We out of here.
Thanks.